G'day, welcome to Inside Ball. Round 5 done and dusted, and Penrith are way out. Just absolutely flying at the moment, undefeated in daylight, but it's Newcastle Knights and West Tigers that are the real smokies.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, second and third. Hello, Kev.
Hey,
Quickly, just to recap, after round 5, we'll look at that. Dolphins flogged by Manly 52-18. Good Friday saw the Rabbitohs continue their merry ways, 32 points to 24. The Storm, they had 50 put on them. Koh Samui, baby.
Have you got them going to Koh Samui?
Koh Samui. We're going to talk about them. 50 points to 10. Dragons got flogged by the Cowboys. We'll unpack the Dragons. Bronx, yep, they beat the Titans. It wasn't pretty, but I can tell you they came out of it with some carnage. Warriors got beaten by the Sharks, 36 points to 22. The Raiders, well, we've been backing the Raiders, continue to, but the Knights, they're the surprise packets. Yeah. I'm off the Raiders train.
Are you off them?
Yeah, I'm off them. Tigers 22 yesterday, Eels 20. Kev.
What a weekender for Easter, hey?
Easter weekend. How was your Easter?
Oh, it was fantastic. I worked Friday, Saturday on Fox. Sunday, Monday, just at home, relaxing and watching the footy. It was really good.
All right.
Really good.
All right, let's start. We're going to start. I'll start with Bronx. I'm going to lead with the Bronx. There's a lot to get through of different areas. The injury crisis. Yeah. Old halves, this is what happens. I said to a bloke last night, I can't believe that young Duffy's going to make his debut, and he said that's what happens when you got old halves. Reynolds gone with an abductor, 2 to 3 weeks. Now, Maguire is saying potentially he's a chance. I actually asked Adam yesterday, and he said it'd take a miracle for him to play. Was that something that
he carried into the game? Or
no, it happened during the game.
How did he do it?
Kicking. He kicked the ball, and it just happened. Just went. Ben Hunt, how tough is Ben Hunt? Seriously.
Yeah, well, every NRL player.
Yeah, but mate,
he's tough.
He had an MCL 8 weeks, and he played through it and kept on playing. Yeah. Reece Walsh fractured, another cheek fracture.
Yeah. Hang on, Reece Walsh. What about that? The no try down the sideline.
What was the no try? Put his foot out.
I know, but have you seen a run like that? Like
I called the game. I called the game. It was right in front of me.
Dobbo.
Well, it was
until he didn't put his foot out.
Like, you know, so...
Yeah, but did you see the look on his face?
Oh, yeah, I did. But he put his foot out. So let's watch it.
Okay.
I mean, you know what, one day, you know, I dummied, but I threw a forward pass, so it didn't happen.
Oh, I get what you're saying.
He put his foot out. Yes, he's quick, and he poked his tongue out. And he shaved it. Well,
and posted himself on the gas.
So Reece then goes back, got his head drunk, mate, brave, but Cat won. Knocked out and cheekbone.
Well, tackle technique first time.
Yeah, he was in front. He put his head the wrong way.
Yeah.
Like, you know, but
all footballers are brave. So
but I'm saying this now. He's 6 to 8 weeks, and that's his third one.
Yeah, I reckon he'll be back sooner than that because he's a quick healer. He's got young bones and good red blood cells.
Third one, Kev.
Yeah, is it the same side?
Cheek? Yeah, I'm like, sorry, it's the other side this time.
But he's out. That's a big out.
You take Reece Walsh out. You take Adam Reynolds out. You take Ben Hunt out.
Well, what's happened to Hunty? Right, MCL, right?
MCL, 6 to 8. His exact words were...
We interviewed him on Fox after the game, and he was pretty cranky, and I thought, gee, that's not like Ben Hunt. You've just had a win. You're playing in the halves, you know.
He said to me, grade 3 MCL, 6 to 8 weeks, they're thinking. He said, very frustrating. He said, hopefully Renault isn't too bad. I said, he's out for a couple of weeks. He went, oh. So,
right.
You know, like
young Tom Duffy comes in.
Tom Duffy comes in.
Fullback will be...
I think fullback
Jesse
is...
Arthurs.
Yeah, Jesse Arthurs. But they're talking
what other
maybe
option?
Mariner, maybe?
Dean Mariner, fullback.
Well, I don't know. Could you play him there?
No, he's not a fullback.
Okay, so Arthurs there. Carapani will come back in.
Yeah.
Verhoeven,
is he
obviously,
back he's out of the club? He's back in.
He'll be back in.
Right.
You bring Carapani onto the wing. Mariner and Staggs are your centres. I think you're in a better position, you know, than what you were. Like, you know, that's for me.
Carrigan Haas got through the game all right with his
Carrigan, Haas, Pakesy, Piakura, Ricky.
Still a strong side, isn't it?
Still a strong side. Your halves are the issue. Now.
Well, who would have thought Tom Duffy, he left the Cowboys last year, signed with the Broncos. Who would have thought in, round 6, that he would be with Ben Hunt and Renault sidelined?
Yeah.
That was...
That's huge.
That's amazing. It's the rugby league gods. They do their talking in many ways.
Unbelievable. What do you think of the Bronx performance?
I thought it was okay.
I mean, if Katoni...
You know what? I was more disappointed with the Titans.
Yeah, same here.
They let in some soft tries. You know,
they didn't get the rub of the green though.
They didn't.
That was a forward. That wasn't a forward
that
pass.
was a try. And the next set, the Broncos scored.
Yeah.
That's a 12-point turnaround, right? So
I agree.
I do have some compassion for the Titans in that regard. But still, when Katoni kicked that ball back inside, right?
No one was there.
There was not a Titan player in sight.
And you know it was 8-6 at halftime.
Yeah.
They'd clawed their way back into it. They were hanging in it.
Yep,
and I'm
definitely.
like, you know what? And then they toss up their second half, that first 10 minutes.
Start. Yeah.
Just dreadful.
I don't know what Josh said to him at halftime.
Well, they shouldn't have had a break. I will say this about Tino, and you can say what you want. And I know you'll say,
I'm
we'll put him in.
up, friend.
Mate,
you want to get him up now?
I'm a bit disappointed with Tino as a leader.
Why?
He's $25,000 a week. Mate, he's their alpha. He's
doing
their
all he
pain
can.
ass.
He is, mate. He stood up. Right? But he hasn't got the calibre of player around him that Pat Carrigan's got, that Payne Haas has got in his forwards.
Yeah. They missed 40 tackles. They completed at 83%. The Titans. 40 tackles they missed. That's the game changer.
What was their completion rate?
They completed. Their completion rate was 83%.
Well, you can't ask for much more. That's pretty good.
Broncos was only 79. So I mean,
no, they let themselves down. The Titans. They just went off their game plan a bit. Their game management was poor.
Verrills never had another run. This is the drama. Like, I know this is going to sound weird, but I'd be giving Ollie Pascoe the reins. I know this is crazy, but Verrills made 34 tackles. He never ran once from dummy half.
No, he's got to run from dummy half.
But Pascoe comes on, already it lights it up.
Again, he's relying on
forwards going forward.
Play the balls.
Bo Firmus tackle, mate, he's got to be better than that.
Well, there was that try, right?
Yeah. And then there was the kick.
Then there was take those two tries away. I know the Broncos had a couple of other ones disallowed as well as a forward pass and the like, but they tried hard, the Titans. They're just not playing that smart, and their effort areas and those little couple of incidences there, that's what they need to fix up. When they fix that up, they'll be a much better side.
Yeah, well,
what about the crowd down there? It was good,
big crowd, 24,000, 25,000. That was great for the game. It was a good night. Don't get me wrong, it was a good night. I was happy to be there.
But when I'm watching at Fox, right, when Reece Walsh left the field, I first of all, Adam Reynolds left the field.
26 minutes in, you lost the captain of the Broncos. Reynolds gone.
Yep.
Right? Then you
10
lose
minutes
Walsh.
in, or 12 minutes, wasn't it?
26. Then you lose Walsh, right?
Yep.
With 5 to go. So you come back trailing 8-6 at halftime and no Walsh and no Reynolds.
And they started the second half poorly.
So you know what? And I mean, and Katoni missed 3 that you could kick or I could kick. Like, I don't know what happened with Katoni, but
no. Well, the score did flatter them.
Yeah, because seriously,
add 6 or 8 points more on. You know, so got a bit of work to do. The Titans.
They take on Parramatta. I know you are in love. Like, we'll get to the Dolphins in a minute, but I think the biggest story is the Storm.
Yeah.
Now, that's their biggest loss in 22 years.
Dobbo, you're putting me on the line here, mate.
You're being the biggest advocate for a long period of time.
Yeah.
If a team has 50 put on them, they can't win the comp.
Yep.
Kosamui.
Kosamui. No,
Kosamui.
You haven't got them in the 8.
No, they're not going to win the comp.
Right.
Kosamui.
Darcy, cut this, and we'll put that at the end of the year.
You think Melbourne are going to win the comp?
Right now, no, you can't say they are.
Absolutely they're not. They're not going to make the grand final.
I'll tell you,
and they're going to struggle to make the 8.
Wingers don't really. Wingers are really important in today's game.
Yes,
they've got one of the best wingers in the game parked on the sideline, Xavier Coates. Right, he will make a big difference to the Storm when he comes back. And that, if I'd have said that 10 years ago, you could have thrown mud at me. Right, but wingers are so important. Now there was a couple of tries there on the weekend. Right, I know they got 50 points, so a lot of tries. But if Coates is playing, it doesn't happen. So I'm waiting for him to come back before I make my judgment on Kosamui on the Storm. Right?
You are.
But
you're a Melbourne sicko.
No, I'm not a Melbourne sicko.
Well,
I've got respect for Melbourne.
Yeah, so do we all.
You know what I'm looking for is more from Cameron Munster, if you listen to Cameron, more from Harry Grant, and more from Jerome Hughes. That's their big guns. Senior players, they got to stand up.
Okay. Now, hear me out here. Because
when you do this, I get worried.
You drink
right?
the Kool-Aid, right?
Come at me.
Xavier Coates doesn't stop Casey McLean at all.
No, I'm not saying
that. Mate, take Casey McLean. Like,
No one's been stopping him.
He's unbelievable. Like, I mean, let's just call it for what it is.
Their edge defence is very poor, Dom.
Very poor.
Right, and they've got unfamiliar faces in those positions,
Now, they lost
which creates
Katoa.
havoc. Against the good teams, they're going to find themselves in trouble. And the Panthers are the standout so far.
They lost Tui. They've lost Katoa.
Yeah.
There's a lot of mitigating circumstances, but I just think, mate, their 3 losses has been as bad as I've seen in a long time.
I agree with you, mate.
They got run down by Brisbane.
Yeah.
They had the Cowboys put a score on them. They were leading with 10 minutes to go.
Yeah.
Cowboys come back.
So unstormed.
And then Penrith go and put a proper clinic on them.
Yeah.
Now, I can understand Storm, but you know what? This is there is a worrying trend there,
Well,
and
this is as big a game that they've had in a long time. You know, grand finals and co will leave that out of it. But they're playing the Warriors, in Melbourne this week. Now that game is traditionally one of the highlights, one of their big matches of the year. So, and the Warriors a little bit shaky at the moment as well. They've got some injuries, so we'll talk more about that on Thursday. But that's a big game for the Storm. Anyway. What else you got for me?
I'm going to say Melbourne are done.
Woo. Just cut that out, Das.
I'm not cutting that out because I'm sorry. I love them, but I don't think they can win the comp.
Right now, I agree with you.
No,
right, but we're into round 5.
I'm not drawing a line.
We all thought that the Cowboys were going to be not where they are. They lost their first 2 games.
Bruce O'Brien Travel Associates.
Brucey's getting the run.
Bruce O'Brien Travel Associates.
Get some money in, Bruce, if you want to get a rap, mate.
Just say,
free flight somewhere.
Bellyache. He's very good. Okay.
So we got the Broncos done. We got the Storm. You put a line through them. The Dolphins.
Now, I was there at KO Stadium.
Yeah.
I saw this. 10 minutes, first 10 minutes, end to end. I thought, there was real opportunity. Averillo, tackle 0, makes a big bust off a 7-tackle reset, right? Goes down the field, opens them up. Hold on to the ball. He passes the ball, gets turned over. They go down the other end, they score. It's over, mate. Then they just went on a clinic.
Floodgates.
The floodgates
opened up. Right. Did you listen to Christian Wolf's presser?
Yeah, I was there.
Oh, you asked the question.
Yeah.
Are there going to be changes?
Yeah.
He said, not to the personnel.
Well,
we're going to change the way we're doing things.
I disagree with that. You got Trey Fuller sitting there. I think Averillo, like to me, mate.
Well, they're not showing him the love, mate. Every time I read about the Dolphins, he's on the outer.
Well, he wants to move back to Sydney.
Right, he does.
I've spoken to the Dolphins today about this. Like, they'd like to keep him. They would like to keep
everyone, mate. They're keeping everyone.
Well, they let Jermaine Azarko go.
Right.
Because of this one reason.
They still probably need to let a couple more.
They're going to have to. So I think Averillo goes. I literally think Averillo will go back to Sydney.
Yeah.
But
go on to the days where you can stack NRL players in
well, you can't play him. Trey Fuller has to play.
Yeah.
He has to be in that side. I don't understand, and I don't want to be critical of Christian Wolf because I understand the job he's got. But they made 2 interchanges in the first half. They were getting schooled. Morgan Knowles, mate, he got a 10-minute sin bin. He gave 3 penalties away. Yeah. Right, Kurt Donoghue's sitting there. That was the most undisciplined performance by the Dolphins. And off the back of that, Isaac Katoa was not great.
Yeah, well, he's
been all over the shop. But he needs a decent 9. I don't know, and you know this better, the importance of Marshall King in that side.
Yeah.
And Max Platt, he goes good, but he's a 13 to me. But
we said that last week, right?
Mate, they need him back sooner rather than later because
Donoghue can play 9.
Had 2 hamstrings in the off season. They had the bye this week. They really didn't want to play him, but they did play him. He came on, but Ray Stone came on with 10 minutes to go.
Yeah. Well, what's his best asset, Ray Stone?
Mate,
he tackles everything
that moves. So I would have had it when Knowles has done this. Straight in. I think the bench rotation, Wolfie got it all wrong.
Well, he's not the only coach.
No, but I'm just saying, and Manly, the bounce back.
What about that?
Well, they had to do it, and they did it. So,
wow, I've never seen anything like that, Dobbo.
Now, if you go by the Kevin Walters logic, Dolphins are gone. Dolphins are gone as well. So what I'm going to say is,
I'm putting a line through a few.
Well, no, but the history would show. The only thing I'd say it's not you, it's history. The only thing I'd say is, with the rule changes, maybe these blowouts. We saw them last year a little bit, but Penrith aren't having those blowouts.
No.
Penrith aren't having these blokes.
But they're not probably getting the 6 again, giving away the 6 agains and the like, you know. The Dolphins are pretty much full strength.
Very undisciplined. It was an undisciplined performance.
Yeah.
No Marshall King. Look, they'll get better. But it's no easy for them. They go to Darwin next week off the back of a bye. Guess who they got? Penrith.
Oh.
Penrith. They got Penrith, New Warriors in New Zealand, right?
Yeah.
The Dogs.
There's no easy game.
Souths. Yeah, like mate, they have got
They're up against
a wretched draw.
Yeah.
Like a wretched draw. Okay. I'm going to talk about the Dogs in a minute, but I want to ask you this. The Bailey Simonsson injury, dislocated ankle, and I understand it was a sin binning. We disagree on this. You think they're going to do weeks. I don't think it was deliberate. I think his foot stayed.
It wasn't deliberate, right? But you can't tackle someone in the air. And I've been a little bit sort of questioning the referees why you can't tackle someone in the air. And this is a clear example of why you can't tackle someone in the air. When you're contesting for a kick, why you can't. Because they came down together. The weight of Laulili coming down, he didn't release Simonsson, and then all the weight went through his ankle.
Yeah, right.
It was sickening.
Okay, it was, and look, he posted last night on the gram.
And it's not the kid's fault.
No. But I want this is, okay, I'm going to leave that part of it. What I want to talk to you about is as a coach. We've seen an enormous amount of injuries at the moment. We're seeing these kind of things happen. Would you accept none of it's deliberate? None of it's deliberate,
yeah.
But it is from fatigue. And the reason from fatigue is because the speed of the game at the moment is faster than it's ever been.
Yeah.
So we are getting more injuries. We're getting like hip drops. We're getting high shots. We're getting a lot of these things that are happening because now I'm not going to be critical of the NRL.
No, well,
they wanted this. They wanted this product, right? They wanted this product entertainment.
Yeah.
But it's coming at a cost.
Well,
would you accept that?
I think. Well, there are some more injuries this year. I don't know the actual numbers on it all. But, yeah, I don't disagree with that. But the players need to tie into the rules, Dobbo. I keep saying this, right? Don't try and slow the game down. When you haven't got control in the tackle.
Well, how fast do you want it to go, Kev? Like, how fast to this game can it get? Like, mate, we're seeing blowout scores, and it's all about entertainment. It's great. And the numbers would show that there's more eyes on the game than ever before.
I'm going to do a study this week on that, and I'll come back to you next week.
I'd like to, because
I'll talk to a few coaches and get their opinion.
I actually think that the game's getting too fast and the fatigue is setting in with the players, and that we're getting more unintentional hip drops, like old mate tackling in the air, his butt. Like, you know, there's a lot of stuff going on at the moment. And I know people will shout at me and say I'm an idiot, troll away. I couldn't give a crap.
Why don't we get the NRL, try and get the NRL physio on?
I'd love the NRL physio to come on.
Well, I'll make contact with him this week.
I'd love him to come on here. Can I ask you this?
He'd have an opinion on that, and his knowledge is probably better than yours and mine.
Probably, yeah, a little. I suspect much more. Are you surprised by Newcastle?
A little bit surprised, yeah, particularly without Ponga
and Brown.
And Brown.
Mate, it's the Fletcher Sharp.
The two Fletchers are
Fletcher Sharp.
Having a ball, yeah.
Mate, Fletcher Sharp is an out-and-out baller. I don't know. When I look at this, I go, okay, what does this look like moving forward? Because you've got to have Hunt in the side and you've got to have Sharp in the side. But you've got Ponga at fullback, who's arguably the best, and Brown's a dead set out-and-out six. Well,
Mate, Fletcher Hunt, I love him too. Like, he was up on the Prime Minister's 13.
Yeah.
He's from Warren. I think he's from Warren.
Yeah.
In year 12 at school, he made the Australian schoolboys from Warren.
How good?
In year 12 at Warren State High School, whatever school he went to, there were 12 students, I think.
Well, he's got a good mullet.
And he's made the Australian schoolboys.
So
I'm probably exaggerating, but what do you think? Small little country town
I know
like
Warren well. Mate, I used to go to the Warren picnics. Warren and the Trangy. We're done.
We're going down a bad burrow there.
We're going around a real bad burrow. I may have won a dirty dancing contest.
Have you honestly been to Warren?
Oh, heaps of times. Yeah, my great friends, the O'Briens.
It's a sheep area, is it?
Cotton. A lot of cotton growing in Warren.
Right.
Yeah.
So these shirts that we're wearing,
Trangy cordials.
Trangy cordials.
Anyway,
what are they? Talk us about them.
Well, a whole other day. We're not going on.
Come on, that's interesting.
We're not getting into that.
I'll go home and try one.
No. Hey, can I ask you about Newcastle though?
Yeah,
Holbrook's
better.
done a
Much
great
better.
job.
Done a great job. And not just the head coach, the assistants as well. And the whole club have turned it around. It's been good. Early days, but some really good signs.
Mate,
That's their first win at home
points.
for like 10 games or something, isn't it? You know? So they can score points and they can defend as well. The Raiders, though, they've been a bit disappointing. I tried to send Ricky a G-up text and get him fired up.
Didn't go
Got
well.
Nothing back.
Didn't go well.
No,
he'd be
but he's
upset.
frustrated, mate.
Yeah.
He's frustrated. They're just getting the little moments wrong. And he's right. He said that in his presser after the game.
And they're ill-disciplined.
Yeah, sin binnings.
Costing them all the time. I mean, I think it was Tamale who got marched, he went up. It was a professional foul.
Well,
Fatigue, mate.
Bradman Best got injured in that game too, didn't he? So he'll be out for an extended period
Big worry,
too.
yeah.
Was it a knee he did as well? Right, gee. There we go, eh?
Canterbury is an issue for me, and it's an interesting thing. They got rid of Jason Taylor as their attacking coach.
Yeah.
Adam O'Brien, who was at Newcastle attack last year was rotten. He goes in there as the assistant running attack. I'm not saying I like Adam O'Brien as a bloke, but I'm just saying their attack at the moment, and now Crichton's gone.
Yeah. The Crichton.
The Bronson Cherry.
Right, that should have been a straight swap.
Absolutely.
Cherry on.
I cannot believe they put Sean O'Sullivan on there.
Yeah.
But if I'm serious about that, I'm playing Sean O'Sullivan over Galvin. I'm sorry.
What, you're dropping Galvin?
Yep. Yeah, and I know, but they've invested that much for Galvin. They have to play him. But I can tell you now, the way they're going at the moment, they are not going well.
Well,
South Sydney, the score line flattered, absolutely flattered. Like the Montoya try, I don't know how that happened. Like he should not have scored. It should have been a try. Should have stopped that. Like I'm just,
yeah.
I just look at it and go, you know what? This team that everybody got up about last year, the Dogs, they're not a shot at the moment.
No.
Not a shot.
No, they're 9. Bailey Hayward is, he's struggling. Well, they're all struggling. And no Steve Crichton now for, how long is he out for?
Oh, well, it's an AC. I don't know. It'll be extended.
Right, it's not.
No, it's not season ending, but, I think it's 4 to 5 weeks.
4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah.
So, but Cherry will come in. So, fortunately, they got depth there, They got some soul searching to do, the Bulldogs. It's their defence, Dobbo. That's normal. That was the mainstay of their game for the last couple of years, and it just seems to be vanishing, Although South Sydney are a pretty good side. They've got some good strike there, They're quite achievers, South, aren't they? Wayne's just poking along there with South.
They're not going that well, but Brandon Smith comes back.
Yeah, is he back this week?
He's back this week.
Right. They're over in Perth.
They're in Perth, so it's a big game. I do think that the long term they need a centre and they get Huss next year, but they need a 5'8" and a centre moving forward because Walker's old, Whiten's old.
Walker's old.
They're getting old.
They're getting older, yeah.
So they need to try and get there, but they're going along. I'm worried about the Dogs.
They're your team too, aren't they? From a childhood team.
No.
You said you used to go to Belmore on a Sunday with your flag.
Well, you know what? Parramatta was their home ground as well.
Yeah, okay.
So they built Parramatta Stadium in '86.
So you're a Parramatta fan now too?
No, I'm not. I was a Dogs fan when I was young. I'm not going to. Terry Lamb, greatest ever.
Who else?
Now, I do want to get to the Clear Mountain Stud, just like Billy Walton.
Yeah.
Billy Walters, they're the difference.
Yeah.
So, funny story about the difference. And we might have to bring these hats back. Calling with Ben Teo, Todd Carney, Ben Hannett, Saturday night, Seabus. There's corporate boxes, level 3 at Seabus. Western side. 2 boxes down. Bloke waving at me. He goes, he's wearing a difference hat. He's like,
he's got a difference hat?
He had a difference hat on at Seabus.
Where did he get that from?
Well, he got it from us. Like, obviously, he's one of our inside
Did
ball.
we give some away last year?
Yeah, we sold them. We sold them, remember?
Right.
Yeah. Your wife was the one who packaged them. Do you remember that? Nurel, you were the one. Seriously.
We want to bring them back again, do we?
We definitely need to bring the difference hats back.
I might remember next time.
Yeah. Can I just talk quickly about Clear Mountain Stud? First class property and facilities based on the Darling Downs. Unbelievable climate for horses. They've got agistment, breeding stock, premier racing spelling, and they are Australia-wide, they're breeding horses. Now, I want to tell you about Worthy Callers. Speaking to somebody this morning who said, mate, very, very good stallion.
Right.
Very respected in the breeding game, said to me this morning, and she's very highly regarded. And I was talking about the Clear Mountain Stud. They said, mate, worthy cause, very good stallion. So you just need to have a look. All progeny bred are eligible for cutis bonuses. They can help with pedigree advice. So if you've got a mare and you want to look which is the right way to join, go to the website, mention Inside Ball for a great deal. Clear Mountain Stud. We're going to be up there in the next week.
Yep.
Looking forward to that.
Some filming and bring it to life, mate.
Yeah.
Maybe horse ownership is
well, why not? If you're a rugby league and you like your rugby league, get into a syndicate, and you know what Clear Mountain Stud can do? They can put a syndicate together with a horse, race the horses with you, mate. It's a great thing to do. I mean, look at you, 6 more songs.
Yeah.
How's that going for you?
Really good, yeah.
Yeah. All right, the Clear Mountain Stud difference now. You said Hammer.
Wrong.
You got it wrong, but that's all right. I said, mate, I also said that the Dragons were going to beat the Cowboys.
Mm. The Cowboys were staying at my hotel. I didn't find out till late,
Yeah.
But they were impressive, the Cowboys. That's a big game this week.
Yeah, we will get to that, but I mean, I'm not drinking the.
I'm
not drinking the
Clear
Cowboys
Mountain
story.
Stud difference, right?
Go.
I thought Jock Madden on yesterday.
I text Jock Madden late last night. I love the kid. Yeah. I love him. What a great bloke he is.
It was so good to see him having some fun and some success.
Mate.
You know? Couldn't get a game much last year at the Broncos, but he showed his colours yesterday.
He's a good kid. You brought him to the Bronx.
Well, he was,
he was on his way, And, mate, he was a great backup. I spoke to Ben Teo about him the other day. He said, mate, he was awesome in the B side because he was so good.
You've got to have those players.
Mate, Perth Bears, if you're looking there, go and sign Jock Madden. I'm telling you why. You know,
goal kicking,
mate,
speed.
Put him with Sexton, right? You know, like you got a running harp and you got a guy who can kick.
Well, he came through as a 7, right?
Yeah.
He's probably more of a 6, Jock. Yeah. He goal kicks, he kicks well. He tackles well. He got enthused yesterday.
Mate.
Kick chase. He's into it.
Mate.
Good on you, Jock. Great to see him playing well, mate.
He's a difference.
And he kicked the winning goal, didn't he?
But
he shot a field goal.
Mate, he goes
Missed
well.
that one, but he kicked the winning goal. So there's the Clear Mountain Stud difference. Jock Madden.
We like it. Okay, Kevin Walters. Here's some questions for Kev.
Right.
We know that. Will Madge give Hayes Perham the Broncos debut? I don't think so. I think it'll be Jesse Arthurs.
Jesse Arthurs, yeah.
With the big 3 out, thoughts on who comes in?
Well, we spoke about that already. So, Tom Duffy will be the halfback.
Yeah.
Jesse Arthur's fullback.
Yeah. Now, Nathan Peterson, 31, behave yourself. Can we give the Panthers the comp already?
No, mate.
Come on.
No.
I'll say this now. Let's see what an injury does to Penrith.
No, don't say that.
No, but every team...
Take that back.
No, every team gets injuries.
Yeah, they do.
So they're going to have to face it. Like at the moment, they are streets ahead. Like they are...
And they've got a couple of blokes suspended and the like. And
yeah, but none of the big ones.
Anyway. Yeah.
Who's been your surprise team after 5 rounds so far?
There's been 2, Newcastle and the Tigers.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, the Cowboys are playing well, but I thought they got some really good players up there at the Cow, so they're holding their own. But, yeah, those 2 teams, the second and third on the ladder, aren't they?
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah.
How do you which ref would you like to interview? You know what? We should get a referee on here. There's some good refs. Grant Atkins is a great bloke.
Yeah.
Ashley Klein's a great bloke. Yeah. Jerry Sutton, one of the best.
They're in a tough position at the moment, the referees, with the rule changes.
We should try and get a referee on this show.
Yeah, okay. I don't think, are they allowed to?
Yeah, they'll be able to talk. Tim Mander.
Well, we can get Timmy, but he's now in politics.
He's a sports minister now.
So.
Why do refs don't allow time in the ruck anymore for dominant tackles? All speed now.
No, well, they do. If you get a dominant tackle, they do allow you. But they are trying to speed the game up a little bit. So you just got to make sure that your contact and when you take them to ground that you're in control. If you're not, you're going to lose the tackle and you hear that bing, bing.
Yeah.
It's kind of annoying, that bing, bing.
I'm over it, mate.
Anyway.
I really am. I'm really over it. They are all your questions for Kev. The rest of them are about the Broncos forward.
We didn't talk about the Sharks, mate.
Well, do you want to talk about the Sharks?
Yeah, I like the Sharks' performance over the Warriors, right? The Warriors are a lot of people have got the Warriors in their top 4, top 8.
Right, okay.
They've come up with some injuries too, Dobbo.
Who?
Chance Nickel-Clockstar.
Yeah, he's in trouble.
He's out.
Yeah.
HIA, wasn't it? Bad one.
36-22.
And 2 hamstring injuries, Dobbo.
Well, this is what I'm talking about.
2 hamstring injuries.
Luke Metcalf's out.
Hamstring.
They'll beat the Storm now. I'm telling you, the last 2 weeks since Metcalf's been back, they've been like that. Tanner Boyd, Metcalf haven't worked. No, I'm being honest. Like the halves, they've been really clunky. Now, when Tanner Boyd had that side, like they've either got to have one or the other.
Yeah.
I think they'll beat the Storm off the back of that. Going back to the Sharks, they're a good side, but mate, I saw what they tossed up a couple of weeks ago against the Dolphins, and I'm like, you know what?
It's a bit stinky.
I don't know who they are.
We just don't know. There's so many things going on in the NRL.
It's only round 5, though.
Round 5. So we'll settle down.
Just relax.
Can you pull back on the Koh Samui stuff too? That
Well, I'm just going off your stats. Your stats would suggest that there's 3 sides now going to Koh Samui.
Yeah, they can make the finals, but they're not going to win the big dance, right?
They were your words, not mine.
Right.
We'll see you on Thursday.